Today we go over a $100 helmet versus a $300 helmet versus a $1,700 helmet.
First up, we've got the Amazon special, the ILM 817 for $100. Next up, we've got my daily driver, the now expired Bell RS2, MSRP $300. Lastly, we've got the top of the food chain, the AGV Pista GP-RR.
The most important thing about a helmet is obviously the safety. So how do we decode these safety ratings and which ones are good and which ones are trash? Most people are surprised to find out that helmets have expiration dates. 5 years on average is typically the expiration of a helmet. Now in the US, all road-going motorcycle helmets need to have DOT certification. But here's where DOT has a bit of a problem. Helmet manufacturers are expected to self-certify or have a third party test their own helmets and bring them to market. You could see how this would create problems if people are already using helmets that haven't actually been tested for safety. Now here's where it gets even worse. 40% of all helmets that have been tested fail the test. Even weirder still, between 2014 and 2020, out of the 72 helmets found to fail on safety, only 12 of the helmets were recalled. That's 16% of the failed safety helmets. So if you have a DOT helmet, it may be a genuinely good helmet, but it also may be one of the ones that were not tested properly and may fail. This brings us to our friends across the pond at the ECE, the Economic Commission of Europe. These helmets are tested before they're allowed to market. The standards have also been updated over the years, once in 2000 and again recently in 2020. The 2000 update, ECE 22.05, is generally considered to be a better test than DOT, especially since it's tested before market. From the newest 2020 update, called ECE 22.06, there are even more rigorous testing, including visor impacts, abrasion, and shell deformation. Provided this information, it seems pretty clear to me that the ECE 22.06 seems to be the go-to standard if given the option. Luckily for us, we are given the option. Although the ECE is a European test, many helmet manufacturers also share the information. Now, there are other third-party testing companies, including the Snell Memorial Foundation in California, the FIM out of Switzerland for international racing, and the Sharp rating system out of the United Kingdom. Each of these offers their own testing results and certifications, which I recommend you also check out. Which brings me back to these three beauties. Our first helmet from Amazon for $100 is obviously the biggest question mark. The manufacturer's website states this helmet only has DOT certification. That could be fine, we don't know. We'll pass on this specific model in general. For about the same price, I was able to find a Bell Qualifier helmet, which is not only DOT, but also ECE 22.05 approved. Even this Built Charger helmet does come up with info saying that it is ECE 22.05 approved. So at this point, I probably wouldn't bother with anything unless it said ECE 22.05 or 22.06 in addition to the DOT standard, because why not? Next up, the now discontinued Bell RS2. The MSRP on this was $300. Now we can see that the RS2 is rocking the ECE 22.05 certification right next to the DOT, being sold in the US. So that makes us sleep better at night. Plus, the materials and accessories on the helmet have been solid, as one would expect from a reputable manufacturer such as Bell. This brings us to our last helmet, the Ferrari of helmets, the AGV Pista GP-RR. At one of the most expensive price tags, how does it do on safety? Well, according to AGV, due to the exclusive AGV Extreme Safety Design Protocol, Pista GP-RR already exceeds the requirements of the strict ECE 22.06 homologation. As you can see, there are a lot of things on this helmet which are high quality and may not be necessary depending on the style of riding that you're doing. If you are racing, this has a built-in Camelback hydration system. If you ride street, you might find these things valuable as well. So where does this leave us now? If you're an American, just piggyback on the ECE ratings and go for a new 22.06. Luckily for us, helmets sold in Europe in 2024 must now pass 22.06 testing, giving us consumers more safety certification and a full market of options. So here are my choices for the best 2206 at various price points. An LS2 Stream 2 can be had for only $150 new. It doesn't get much better than that. ECE 2206 certified, that's a lot of safety for the price. Icon's Airform also comes in at only $10 more than that. And maybe the best bang for the buck is the plain white or black AGV K1S, around $220. Moving up in price points, you can check out the K3 and K6 from AGV at about $300 and $600. Adding more money and Snell certification, I like the Bell Raystar DLX and the Shoei X15. In summation, technology and testing has gotten better and more rigorous. I would personally not rely on DOT-only helmets. A lot of the better ones, you're gonna have multiple certifications anyway. I would at least use an ECE 2205 at minimum. I would prefer a 2206 because I don't see why you wouldn't offer that level of testing. Price points can more so come down to features and build quality, comfort. However, at a higher price point of $300 or more, I would expect there to be a good safety rating associated. So I ended up going with the K1S from AGV for about $220. I feel like it's a solid option. It's got the DOT, of course, and it's also got the ECE 2206, so we feel safe. It doesn't have as premium of features as the K6, obviously, at a lower price point. The plastics do feel a little cheaper. As long as these air vents work, I'm fine with it. One thing I do miss is the locking mechanism for the visor. I thought that was a really good safety and practicality feature. But really at a $220 price point, you really can't go wrong with a name brand like AGV and the newest safety features. Don't be fooled into thinking that just buying a more expensive helmet is going to be safer. Do a little research on the actual test results of the helmets you're looking at. Let me know in the comments what you're rocking for a lid. Is your helmet expired? Are you looking at a new one? Are you rocking no helmet? You really should. If you want to see more motorcycle content, click here for my last video on electric versus gas-powered motorcycles. Also, please comment on what you'd like to see more of, and like and subscribe and share.